Alright, we have the level 35 Scholar quest, The Last Remains, given to us by Alka Zolka, the Lullafell male scholarly marauder dude in the Marauders Guild in Upper Decks, Limsa Amensa. Here we go. We're gonna get our first AoE heal, although it's okay. But yeah, here we go. Ah, mercy. I was hoping you might come along. Deciphering the treatise has proven more difficult than I anticipated, but I have nevertheless made progress. It contains a wealth of military knowledge, much of which details the role of scholars in Nymian units. My voice is going. That's not a voice I'm doing for him. This is the 6th video I've made tonight. It contains a wealth of military knowledge, much of which details the role of scholars. Apparently, a single scholar could provide effective support for an entire party of marauders. Yeah, it's called healing, dude. They would employ their magics to heal the wounds and enhance the abilities of their allies. That's not true. That's an astrologian, but whatever. Moreover, they often served in leadership roles as they were highly trained tacticians. But how swiftly the remembrance of all things is buried in the gulf of eternity. The treatise indicates that Nymian scholars wielded a far more diverse repertoire of spells than you currently possess. Precisely why you lack these spells, I cannot say. I'd like to have an AoE heal, thank you. Waiting till level 35 to get one is stupid, but whatever. And having to do a quest to get... whatever. Doesn't matter. However, the fault may lie with your Faerie. They're mean, but okay. I guess I do have the Faerie's Whispering Dawn? Whispering something. One could surmise that the knowledge contained within the soul of the scholar is essentially hers. Therefore, if she cannot remember the ancient magics, it would suggest that... a thought occurs to me. If it is indeed the case that the Faerie, having been sealed for 1,500 years, has yet to fully regain her senses, mayhap visiting a familiar location would hasten the process. And I can think of no more familiar place than the city of Nym. Rather, what remains of it in outer Lenosha. Let's go! Teleport, Camp Overlook, 184 gil with reduced rates from a free company. Honestly, if I could choose 2 free company buffs that lasted forever, it would be reduced teleportation rates and probably food buff lasting 33% longer, I think. I think it's multiplicative rather than just adding 10 minutes, but I also have no real way to test it. Well, I mean, I probably could figure out a way to test it, but whatever. Doesn't matter even a little. Okay, so we have this Forgotten Whisper thing. There's a pillar that is knocked over. On top of the pillar is kind of a diamond shape. But it's all stone. It's an urn-shaped pillar with a diamond shape on top of it, all of it stone. Forgotten Whisper, numero uno. Interacting. The Faerie strains to remember. Gonna keep heading kind of north with little easts and wests here and there. This is just an intact pillar that's kind of like... it's... like there's some hieroglyphs, I guess, on it as well. It's got like this really tall, thin arch as well. Another one of those urn-shaped pillars knocked over with the... kind of like, this is more flying saucer shape on top of it, attached all stone again. Number 3. The Faerie strains to remember still. We'll head north to the last one. We gotta kill this guy first, probably. Coral. I got Pegasus with me. It'll go down quick. Pegasus in attack mode, no less. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask the free company for another Thavnarian Onion to continue leveling him. This is kind of just a squat... like it might have been a pillar at some point, but we mostly have the base remaining. The Faerie strains to remember, number 4. We head west with a newly added map point. Wait. Where is it? It's up here? Oh, it's up here. There is this land bridge that theoretically could have connected to something, but it's like a half bridge leading to nowhere. It just ends. But it's still pretty much a land bridge. Long survey. Probably a cutscene at the end. Indeed. The fairy kind of twirls next to me. We're looking at a bunch of a lot of floating land masses. Some with, one as a castle. They all have crystals underneath them as if the crystals are powering the flotation. Got blues and oranges and yellows for the crystals. What did it say? The Forgotten... It was on the screen too quickly, I'm sorry. The Forgotten something about... But yeah, a bunch of floating islands. One with a castle. I see a couple, kind of towers on some of them. Some trees. Some other buildings. They're all just kind of floating in the distance to the west of Outer Lenosha. And as far as I know/remember, these have never come into play in any storyline or anything. 91 gil with the reduced rate and being a favored destination gets us back to Limsa Lominsa. We'll go to the Marauders Guild right after that to turn in the quest for a very, very fast job quest. We'll see what the fairy ends up remembering. Or what else, comes of it, knowledge-wise. Talk to Alka Zolka to finish. Welcome back, Mercy. I gather the experiment met with success. Then this strongly suggests that each fairy is a distinct individual with her own thoughts, feelings, and memories. Well, I must redouble my efforts to translate the remaining text. At this rate, your discoveries threaten to overshadow mine. Not to bemoan your accomplishments, but I have yet to decipher any equally amazing stratagems. Soon enough, though, soon enough. We do get our AoE, so 900 MP, AoE heal for 200 potency, erects a barrier for 115% of the amount of HP restored that lasts for 30 seconds. Through Sage, I have been more reactive in most fights with our AoE heals and AoE shields and single target shields, although putting a single target shield on the tank before they rush in gives me, a little bit of wiggle room, but not as much as I'd like. I do Sage runs of I almost exclusively do the main scenario. We also get 15,840 experience points. The main scenario rotation, roulette, I almost exclusively do with Sage, and obviously the tanks can only pull at most 2 groups at a time. And Sage basically does region as they are attacking, and I would do region as putting Eos somewhere and then just letting Eos remain there. Not every time theoretically, when you move, you have a chance to lengthen the time between Eos instant cast heals, which is a weird thing to say, because as you're running to the next group, if anybody's damaged, Eos is healing. Instant cast, 100 and whatever HP restored. More if it's a crit, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know what else I'm gonna do with my day. I gotta go back to Gridania. Actually, I'm gonna burn some more of these. Twin Adder Aetheryte ticket. I gotta do Squadron experience points. I might be able to get 3 if I time everything perfectly. I ran 4 dungeons with my squadron today and had a really good time. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying getting all the buffs, like to make them do more damage or take less damage, although none of my tanks have gained one of those. I'm not even sure I would use... They take so little damage already that it's not really a big deal. I kind of like having my tanks do more damage in those cases, but... where's my timer? Slimer. Anyway, that's it for this video. Very short. I will see you next time for whatever is next. And now I have an AoE heal that So when I'm... Okay, so I know that the main scenario stuff is much easier than just general stuff. I know the damage output is less. You can't wall-to-wall pull as strongly, and Sage has the benefit of... I guess every time I am placing... So for Sage, every time I am placing a dot on a target, it will trigger a heal on my Cardian, the tank. Let's just say the tank, because that's who my target for Cardian is. Every time I do that, they get a heal. It's probably the same time between heals as if I place my Faerie and then leave the Faerie there. It will... But I can't determine who the Faerie targets with the heal. Sage can. The only recipient of healing from you doing damage is the target you put Cardian on, and unless you're kind of just fucking around and just trying some stuff here and there, you almost never move it from the tank. The main tank, that is. If you have 2 tanks or you're an 8-man or whatever, it might switch things up, but for Faerie, I can't control that. But it will always heal the lowest HP party member. So that's usually the tank, unless DPS is standing in dumb shit, which they can do. And in that scenario, as Sage, I actually... No, I have some instant... I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have Energy Drain or Ether... I can't do Ether Flow yet. That's level 45. So, Whispering Dawn is a way to do like an AoE... Since Whispering Dawn doesn't have a radius, which is actually really annoying, I think that it is centered on the Faerie, no matter where the Faerie is. You can't set the Faerie to follow somebody, aside from probably... Let me try something. Action, or wait, is pet action? Hold on. That's some macros. PAC place. I'm gonna do, okay, so PAC is pet action. Place. So yeah, I can direct her to go to a target. However, if they move, I don't believe she follows them. Let's test it on somebody who's running. No, see, she went to where that guy was when I so I would have to well, yeah, I would have to continually be targeting the tank as they were running and pressing this button, and it would be ridiculous. So, probably not doing that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the quest, and then hope you enjoyed my rambling and pontificating, whatever, and I will see you soon for the next thing you watch of mine. But bye-bye for now. I think I'm done making videos for the night. I don't have anything left to do. I want to start all of the other crafters. All I have is Culinarian right now, and I have so many freaking items I have gathered through leveling 5 different classes to 100 and 5 other classes to 70-ish. And then leveling fishing. I haven't really kept a whole lot of fish. I have kept some botany stuff. But I'm every crafter I make, I'm gonna make videos for them, and I think I'm done making videos for the night. I gotta do my daily dungeon. What else do I gotta do? Or want to do, not got to do. Crafting, I'm not gonna worry about. Freaking Gatherer's Boon. It's what it is. I don't even know for sure how to trigger it. Treasure, I only get like 2,000 gil. Whatever. Don't give a shit. Battles, all I have left is Wondrous Tales, which I don't do. So I'm done with the gathering, the challenge log. But I do gotta do blue, Mask Carnival, and then yeah, my daily. I'm surprised I guess I haven't done any. Well, I started the week doing, like, I was actually kind of with trust. What's it called? Let's see, duty sport. With trust, I did the Ageless Miso Terminal. I did it for the quest, and then I did it 2 more times, and you gain item level 735 from it. So, and I theoretically, you might be able to gain an entire set of 735 gear if you run it over and over and over and over and over again. If you're running it with trust, you're also getting all the gear that you could level your other 100s with. Sorry, item level up, like gear up your other 100s with. And as far as it goes for tomestones of heliometry, which you can gain ad nauseum with no weekly cap. I want this little turtle. Tipping tortoise? That's so cute. Anyway, heliometry only buys you item level 720 gear. Mathematics is capped at 450 per week as your maximum, which I could cap that every week, but buying weapons with either heliometry or mathematics requires some items you get from AAC light heavyweight stuff, and I queued for one as a healer. The queue was lasting forever, and then I just didn't want to do it. Like, it lasted, I was 20 plus minutes as a healer and still no queue. The first boss, I thought I had a pretty good idea of how to do it. Juno, I really want to do and need to start watching videos for it, but I really like going through the storylines and these lower level things and actually paying attention for once, because I've leveled a lot of these classes to like 50s, almost 60 on some of them, and have no idea what the storylines for them are, and I like the storylines for them. So anyway, I'll do my daily. I don't really want to level Gunbreaker any further right now. Like, when I get Scholar, Pugilist, I don't really know if I care about Dancer, Samurai, Reaper, Viper, Pictomancer, all of them up to 70 to like end their story quests. Their storylines, which all seem to end at 70, except for the jobs that like start you at 80. I'm not sure how that works yet because I've never started one, but then I'll start trying to figure out if I want to level. Like, Gunbreaker seems cool, but I kind of like Dark. Dark is more simple so far, but we'll see. Anyway, now this video's done. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.